Hey, welcome back everybody. Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and of course I got another review for you. This is from Boom Studios, Eve number 3, written by Victor LaValle. I'm not even gonna try, but let's see. Art by Jo Mi-Gyeong, and colors by Brittany, letters by AndWorld Design. Cover by Ario Indito, maybe. Sorry if I mispronounce any names. Your boy Evil is really bad with names. Not really on the pronouncing part, but just remembering. So, issue number 3 of Eve. If you have not read the first 2 issues, or checked out my reviews, go ahead and check out my reviews or go read this sucker. It is a good book. We are following Eve after the cliffhanger on issue 2. And her meeting the, I guess you can say, wild kids on this post-apocalyptic Earth. At the moment, the teddy bear is separate from, I think his name is Wexler, but he is separate from Eve. Eve is on her own. She runs into these kids in the last issue, and she was being chased by, I don't know what you want to call them, but let's just say zombies, or devourers, something like that. But they still look like zombies and act like zombies. But so the kids tell her to duck, and she ends up ducking. They end up killing the devourer that was following her. They end up taking her inside, and as soon as they do, the main girl that's with her tells her that she can't stay, and Eve is like, "Why not?" And she kind of goes into, like, I don't know why, but she explains like the map and how this little like safe haven works, I guess you can say. It's actually like a glorified public restroom that at one time another president, like a president, came along, and they call him President K. But she came along and made all these public restrooms like fallout shelters. She had them like rebuilt and so kind of like rest stops on, like, highways and stuff like that. Like, if you can imagine it, she kind of, like, this president went through and made all these kind of like fallout shelters. The other kid mentions that they had like 3 back-to-back pandemics before they even had the devourer, virus that was unleashed. So the president was just trying to, accommodate for things that they kind of felt like were coming, and of course the kids say it was in good measure. Up on the Osiris station, where Eve's father is at with the other scientists, they are basically watching Earth like it's a movie. Like, at some point, they're hoping that because that's Eve's whole mission, is she's supposed to be, I think, planting the Osiris tree, and when she plants the Osiris tree, it's supposed to clean all of Earth's oxygen back to a livable state. They kind of make a very, the robot that's with her dad is a drone, but an AI drone. But he kind of asks a question like, how many times do humans get to, get the chance? If this was reversed and your toaster broke, how many times would you let it break before, you would throw it away or try and fix it? And how many times after it broke and you fixed it would you keep it, kind of thing? And the robot, it's kind of a really important question. Like, how many times do you let humans fail on Earth before it's time to call it quits, kind of thing? I will say this is the strangest thing in the book, that reading it, because issues 1 and 2, I did not get the feeling that this was going to go this way. So I felt like this was, like, it wasn't supposed to be a part of the story. For some reason, he felt like he needed to change this part. But for some reason, Wexler the teddy bear, right after that other AI, because it's the same AI droid that's with her that's in the teddy bear Wexler. But at this point, we find out that Wexler is actually like a bad guy, which it didn't make any sense, because Eve and him started the trek together. And I mean, if he wanted to, and at this point, like, his whole reason in the story is to kill her. Which, I mean, if you go back, he had the many opportunities in the beginning to kill her. I mean, he kind of explained how to save the world and what she was supposed to be doing. Like, he was supposed to, he was set up like her guide. And in this issue, he's just like, oh, I gotta find her and now I gotta kill her. not only that, but I was like, as we get here, he is retracing her steps somehow and has found, because she has moved on. She is, at this point, the children has sent her packing to the next point in her journey, which is a train station. Now, they didn't do it mean or anything. They gave her supplies and all this other stuff. And one of the kids went with her to show her how to get on the train. The other kid also mentioned that she wouldn't be allowed to come back, that if they came back, the kids were instructed to kill her. And it's more going into that, like, once they left, they were pretty determined she might come back as a devourer. But okay, so we get back to Wexler, and he's retracing the steps, and he comes across the kids that she just left. Now, I had to like go back and kind of look at this like 2-3 times, but he does end up killing all those kids. I mean, he goes through and he demolishes that whole little rest stop spot, and I mean, because it shows him go in without blood, and it shows him come, out with blood. And it also shows him like destroying the entrance and the exit as he leaves. And he kind of says like, no more chances, folks. No more chances. That's all, folks. And he kind of like trods along. We do catch up back with Eve and this other girl, and they're finally making it to the train station. It's instructed that the train still works because the power is on, and we know her father turned the power back on for him. The little girl, the other girl that's with Eve, and it kind of tells her some things about the world that she doesn't know yet, like, that about the devourers, and there's worse things about the devourers, but very small details. But it basically says the real reason why she told the kids that she couldn't come back, and it's because she's already been changing. She's 13 years old, and she says at a certain point she could feel the changing come on. She does get Eve on the train forcefully and gives her it looks like a note, which we don't know what it is yet, and then sends her on the train and tells her it's going to be quite a long, train ride. We do see that Wexler eventually catches up with, her last location at the train stop, and the other girl is still there. We see that the girl has fully changed into a devourer quickly, and down here we see that Wexler quickly took care of the new devourer. Killed another kid, this teddy bear, huh? And we just see that he's following the train. We do get on the train, and there was something else from the first issue, that this helmet. And the helmet, it told her in the beginning that it was basically like, oxygen, life support, like if she fell in water or something like that, but it wouldn't be able to prevent her from any of that poison that's in the atmosphere or anything like that. But at this moment, Wexler's using it as a communication device, telling her, hey, I'm still out there. She gets all excited. He's like, hey, I know where you're headed. You're going to be underground for a long time. It's the way the train was built. But when you get to the next station, hey, stay there and wait for me, so when I get there I can kill you. Now, he doesn't say the whole, that I'll kill you exactly, but he says it in, so many words, don't worry, I will catch you. And she's like, oh, sure, Wexler, I feel safer with you. And he's all like, yep, safety is my middle name, He gives all these little hints, and she's not picking it up, that something has changed in him. We also see this other character, and it just kind of briefly shows her, and I will say her, but it shows her at the train station where Wexler had just killed the other devourer. We do see that this other new person has been listening in on their conversation, and that's how she's keyed in to where Eve and Wexler are going to meet up. We do see that Eve was faithful to Wexler, and she has been waiting at the new train station for Wexler. Wexler finally gets there, and he's like, hey, guess what? You waited for me? Oh, great, this is going to be easy. And even states it that way and walks up, and she just wants to give him a hug, and it looks like right there that he was going to take his shot to creepy teddy bear, cut her neck off, and at that last second, he is, shot through the head by this new entity, and Eve kind of gets mad. Wexler was her friend. At this moment, she didn't know that he was doing all this killing, that he was going to kill her. But she kind of gets mad at the entity, and she's like, hey, what the heck? You might as well kill me too, kind of thing. And we find out that the other person is not going to kill Eve, because this is Eve. It looks like a more grown-up version of Eve. And that is basically the end of this issue. Thoughts after it. The art is amazing. The story is still really good. I don't know why they changed who Wexler came in this book. I mean, if it was always going to be like that, why wasn't there any clues like in the beginning? I mean, why not do it in the beginning? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I'm still liking it. I'm still liking the journey on where Eve is going, and the new addition to, it looks like another clone maybe. Because we do know that she was in a pod to begin with, so I'm pretty sure her father being a scientist, this isn't the first try. But that's my review. Be looking for issue number 4 coming soon, and that's what I got for you. You know, you liking the series? What'd you think about the Switch? You know, I mean, maybe you didn't even catch it. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, let's talk about it. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later.